Right, so let's start off with the vocal on its own.
For I've been living in scenes from Harold and Maude, faking gruesome deaths, offending Catholic priests. So send this boy away. Forsake him at your peril. There can only be one loser.
That is the vocal without any processing, okay? So let's add in the Slate Digital. So the Slate Digital has the V76 preamp and the U73B compressor from Audified, okay? I've got the drive cranked so you can get more of that sound, that kind of warmth from the preamp, and I've got a fast release. I had to bring the output down a little bit because I had a little bit of volume gain, high pass filter in as well. So this is the quieter part of the song with the preamp and the compressor in.
For I've been living in scenes from Harold and Maude, faking gruesome deaths, offending Catholic priests. So send this boy away. Forsake him at your peril. There can only be one loser. I never knew why. We were only passing ships in the night, ignoring all the other.
So you can definitely hear that breathiness of the vocal. It's bringing it more to your attention. It's bringing it more out of the speakers. The U73B, in conjunction with the preamp, is just adding in this color, the saturation, and it's just it's bringing the vocal to life and up front. And that's why I've been using this for years instead of an 1176. So really, really fantastic job. Now let's move on to the NEOLD, which came out from Plug-in Alliance. I've tried to keep the gain of the preamp the same as the Slate. I've got the high pass filter in. So again, fast release, fast attack. So again, you've got makeup gain, you have a mix knob, and again, you've got an output trim as well. So let's hear what, in comparison to the Slate, what the NEOLD is adding.
For I've been living in scenes from Harold and Maude, faking gruesome deaths, offending Catholic priests. So send this boy away. Forsake him at your peril. There can only be one loser. I never knew why. We were only passing ships in the night, ignoring all the other.
So I would say in comparison that the Plug-in Alliance NEOLD is cleaner. I would definitely say that it cleans up the vocal more and there's more clarity in the vocal. And I don't know if it comes more out of the speakers. To me, I think they're very similar, but I would say that the Slate is definitely more coloured. And I do kind of maybe think that the breaths come out a little bit more. So that's the two of them. And then what I have done is I've added in a different compressor altogether just to give you a different flavour. Acustica Audio have the Viridian, and I know that that's based off the Helios. The Helios was in Abbey Road, so all of this gear were being used around the same time, I think. So this is the Viridian. I based this off the Helios, compressor number 3, which isn't the Pi. I didn't like the Pi, but this is, I think there's two different variations of the Helios. I've chose number 3, fast release, ratio at 4:1. I've got a high pass filter in there, and yes, let's just hear what this is doing in comparison.
For I've been living in scenes from Harold and Maude, faking gruesome deaths, offending Catholic priests. So send this boy away. Forsake him at your peril. There can only be one loser. I never knew why. We were only passing ships in the night, ignoring all the other.
So, in comparison, now again, this was maybe doing 1 to 3 dB at the biggest peaks of that part of the song. In comparison, I would say it's the cleanest. I definitely say it adds more clarity to the vocal, but it isn't as saturated or it isn't as warm as the U73 and the V76. Again, two different compressors. Let's see if I can tell the difference and you can tell the difference based on those tests, okay? So we'll start off with the quieter part of the song and we'll see if it is possible that I can tell the difference between them. So let's do this and see if I can tell the difference, and let me know in the comments down below how you guys got on as well. So let's give this a whirl.
For I've been living in scenes from Harold and Maude, faking gruesome deaths, offending Catholic priests. So send this boy away. Forsake him at your peril. There can only be one loser. I never knew why. We were only passing ships in the night, ignoring all the other passers-by. For I've been living in scenes from Harold and Maude, faking gruesome deaths, offending Catholic priests. So send this boy away. Forsake him at your peril. There can only be one loser. I never knew why. We were only passing ships.
Right, that was pretty hard. That's why we do these blind tests. Right, I think the harshest one, was this. And then I think that this is got the low end and it's got the clarity as well. Let's see. Ooh, that's interesting. So the NEOLD did sound best to me. That was the one that I kept thinking, that sounds the best. Now it's interesting again what you think about perceptual listening, okay? So it is all about perception, and again, my original one was right. I was right, which is quite annoying. So that was the Slate and that was the Acustica. So I know the NEOLD's right. To me, that did sound the best, which means I'm going to try it one more time and see if I could get the NEOLD again. So I like that low end and that clarity, and just overall it sounded the best to me. And to see which one is actually the clearest in terms of clarity. One of them should be missing a little bit of that low end warmth and the kind of analog boost. Now, let's see if I can get it right again.
For I've been living in scenes from Harold and Maude, faking gruesome deaths, offending Catholic priests. So send this boy away. Forsake him at your peril. There can only be one loser. I never knew why. We were only passing ships in the night, ignoring all the other passers-by. For I've been living in scenes from Harold and Maude, faking gruesome deaths, offending Catholic priests. So send this boy away. Forsake him at your peril. There can only be one loser. I never knew why. We were only passing ships.
Oh, for God's sake. Right, so there you go. I cannot tell the difference between the Slate and the Acustica. I can't do it, which is so goddamn interesting because I can tell the NEOLD every single time. And if you think about it, the Slate is is emulating the exact same thing that the NEOLD is. That's just, again, you might have got that right and let me know down below. But to me, this kind of comparison is about the NEOLD, and the NEOLD sounds best, and I can tell the NEOLD apart, which to me is the most important thing for perceptual listening, because you want to add something into your mix that when you put it in, you can hear it instantly, and it's going to have an impact on the listener's overall enjoyment of the song. So let's see if I can get it right in the louder part. Let's see if I can get it right this time.
Passes by. Oh, passes by. Passes by.
Now I'm stuck. I think that's the Acustica. And I think I'm now stuck between these two now. I'm going to go for it. I am going to go for it. Oh, for God's sake. My God. Oh, no, wait. I got one right. I got Slate right, okay? Because the Slate to me, I always said the one that sounded the harshest, okay, was the Slate. So to me, I did have to listen a little bit harder, because I was a little bit like, my God, like, yes, I do think this one is a little bit harsher at the end of that song. So I got the Slate right for a change, but it was all the clarity. So I think I might be able to tell the difference this time. I know I've got the harshness of the Slate, and I know that the NEOLD is without a shadow of a doubt the clearest one. So it should be easy this time. So let's try it one more time.
Passes by. Passes by. Passes by.
I'm going for it. Bloody hell, this is hard. Again, this swapping. Right, okay. Please say I've got this right. Oh my god. Okay, I give up. I give up. I can't tell the difference, right? So I got the Acustica right. So I got the Acustica right, but I got the Slate and the NEOLD right wrong, which was really, really annoying. Right, so it's just I just can't tell the difference. It's like it's just pot luck. So what do we take from that? I would say in the quieter parts, so if it's kind of soft and the compressor isn't being hit that hard, there is more of a difference, and I think the NEOLD wins every single time for me. When they are getting hit harder and louder parts of the songs, it's too hard to tell the difference. It's really, really hard to tell the difference, and I think they kind of all act roughly the same. I would say that this is the winner for me. I just feel that this has a little bit more bottom end, a little bit more clarity, and it just stands out a little bit more. Again, in small doses. So helios versus a U73 telefunken style emulation, there isn't much difference. So if you have Slate Digital and you're thinking about getting the Viridian, don't bother, because I don't think you're going to tell the difference at the end of the day. But if you've got the Acustica and you're looking for a U73 telefunken style sound, then this is what you go for. So the good thing with the Acustica is it's a bit of a Swiss Army knife. That's just one compressor. You have the Pi and you have another Helios compressor as well. So just for the Acustica guys, U73 telefunken style, preset number 3 for the compressor. Okay, so that was quite handy. So that's enough from me, guys. Thank you very, very much for listening. And yes, check out the other video that I've got going in depth instead of just vocals. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe, the most important thing, so I can get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And yes, hope to see you soon, and I'll see you next Wednesday or whatever video I catch you on. Have a lovely day, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.